good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. It's 11:11, 11:12. I think we're up and running. That doesn't look right. Hello. Good morning, everybody. We're just getting started, getting set up here. Give me a couple of minutes here. This is the time of the show where I make sure everything's working. And it looks like we're working. You can say hi in the chat. I'm going to say PPP in the chat on YouTube. And on the chat on Facebook. PPP to you guys too. PPP to everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy PPP. Hi, Richie. Hi, Sean. Good morning. Sean, we had a great talk the other day. I really liked our talk. I don't speak to anybody for 2 hours on the phone, and I literally spoke to you for 2 hours about God. That was pretty cool. I like those conversations. Didn't intend for that to happen, but it just happened. Because we both believe in God, and we both were like, ooh, we need to catch up. We haven't caught up in a while. That was nice, Sean. I really appreciated that. And I'm going to church tonight with a friend, taking a buddy with me. And yes, we will be smoking cannabis in the parking lot because I do believe in spiritual use of cannabis. Absolutely. All about it. I'm all about it. I hate when people say that they're all about it, because usually when you say I'm all about it, they're usually not all about it. They just like to say that, but I am all about spiritual cannabis use. You will smell me in the Liquid Church parking lot tonight. They have a Thursday night live sesh at Liquid Church. So it's church at night on Thursday night. So yeah, that should be good. Michael Hoffman. Medicated coffee in hand. Mine is not medicated, but it's good. Yeah, actually, Sean, I was actually listening to most of what you were saying. Hi, Danny. Danny Corvino in the house. What's up, Mr. Corvino? I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, brother? We got a few things to talk about today. We have a couple of meetings we went to. We went to a Barrington meeting, and we went to Summit. And boy, oh boy, we had a flash mob in Barrington and Summit. We actually went from Barrington, took the whole flash mob over to Summit meeting. And it was just amazing. This is how you do activism. This is really cool because we definitely got our points across. We have a patient that was arrested in Barrington. A patient, a person of color, and a patient who was arrested in Barrington for his cannabis. And also, I'm hoping that he'll call in. Another person of color was arrested in Florence. He was not a patient, but he was arrested for like 2 grams of cannabis in Florence. Hopefully he'll be calling in and we can help him out also. What is going on in New Jersey? We legalized cannabis, but we're trying to figure out ways to arrest people still? Does that make any sense? Why are we legalizing it if we're trying to find ways to arrest people? We'll be right back. Hey, Slav. This segment of the Ignorance is No Excuse podcast is brought to you by the UFCW Local 152. roll. This is the time of the podcast where you PPP, roll it up, pack it up, smoke it up. K-bar dad for me. You can listen in. That's the sound of freedom right there, boys and girls. Unless you're in Barrington or Florence, then it's the status quo of arresting people of color. We went to Barrington years ago, and we proved that they have no idea what Kuma is. They're in big trouble now. They're gonna get sued. You're gonna get sued in Barrington. Get sued. You're gonna get sued. You're gonna get sued in Barrington for arresting patients. You're gonna get... Oh, shit. Where's my fucking peps? Oops. Oopsie. Here we go. Smoke them if you got them, boys and girls. Song. I have a song for that. So we got Pat Duff calling in later. We went to Senator Scutari's office, and lo and behold, he doesn't care about you and your disability. You want Senator Scutari to fight for your rights, but he doesn't even have wheelchair access to two of his offices. Not one office, two offices. He has no wheelchair access. But you want Senator Scutari to fight for your rights? Are you kidding me right now? Does not care. And believe me, I'm all about making mushrooms legal. But he poisoned the bill by putting mushrooms in that bill because the senators are not for mushrooms. They might be for cannabis. They're not for mushrooms, even though we are. And he poisoned that bill. I've been telling you for years the guy's a fraud, but maybe now you believe me. Ramps for champs. We want shroom. I want some shrooms, Richie. But make it a separate bill. Don't ruin our homegrown bill. Oh, they ruined the whole thing. They wrecked it. I avoid Barrington, so I didn't end up in the prosecutor pulling me into the back to discuss the matter. Okay. Yeah, Barrington, crazy. Hey, Jonathan, how are you? Good morning. Drink it up. Thanks for the diss level. What diss? What? Oh, man. Hey, wait. Check this out. I'm working on a new song. Not really a new song. I want to do a commercial for the Magical Butter people. And I was thinking of taking this old song and ruining it. Or making it better. I wonder what's inside your butter machine. I wonder what's inside your butter machine. Something like that. I was thinking, I don't know. Is that too... Nah, it's too much, right? Too extra? It works, though. I wonder what's inside your butter machine. I wonder what's inside your butt. Brownies, cookies, smoothies, sliders, corn, peanuts. Corn and peanuts in your butter machine. All right, never mind. We'll work on that later. Terrible. So, Pat Duff, if you're listening, I want you to call in. We have a lot to talk about. We have to talk about Scutari. We have to talk about TerraSend opening up their new dispensary in Phillipsburg. Beautiful. Very nice facility. And actually, it was a dose of reality because I'm standing there, and there's all these people around with cancer and MS, and they're in wheelchairs, they're in walkers, they're in they have the crutches. And these people are waiting outside in line for the place to open up or to get inside. And people are driving by and they're going, "Oh, go get your card! Go get your card!" Like, wow. You got people that are dying on this line, waiting there for their medicine so they don't die. And you got people driving by saying, "Here, go get your card! Get your card! Potheads!" Like, wow, that's so hurtful. And I'm wondering when that guy is going to wind up in a wheelchair thinking, like, wow, you know what? I made fun of those people, but now I'm one of them. And, gee, I need pot. That was sad. That was really sad and very eye-opening to see people in Phillipsburg driving past the sick people, sick and dying people, and trolling sick and dying people on a dispensary line. I mean, who does that? That was a little upsetting to me. But the dispensary experience was wonderful. I had a great experience there. The people were wonderful, and the cannabis was great. Actually, I believe there's some here. Is this the... Oh, this is the Purple Magic. Okay. I got Purple Magic, and I got the candy shelf or candy store or something, and it was pretty amazing. I think I'll try some. All right. So we also did go to Summit. We went to Barrington Council meeting. We're going to the Union County Freeholders meeting tonight, if anybody's interested in that. The meeting the first one was Barrington. We had a patient. Our friend was arrested for medical cannabis in Barrington. Actually, 2 patients. And we should probably give them a call. We should probably call the Barrington Police Department and ask them why they're arresting patients. You know what? I should have set that up beforehand. Let me call the Barrington Police Department live. Let's see. B-A-R-I, Barrington Police, non-emergency. Let's do New Jersey. Non-emergency number. Okay, here's the non-emergency number. I didn't even check. Oh, boy. I didn't even set my phones up or nothing. I'm terrible. I'm terrible producing myself today. There's no phone set up or nothing. Oh, my God. Terrible. All right, give me a second here. Terrible. I'm not prepared for this show today. Yeah, that was some dumb shit, man. They are going to introduce it as a separate bill. They need to get that shit out. I mean, come on, man. You can't put mushrooms in a bill where you're trying to save people's lives with cannabis. Don't mess it up. I'm all about mushrooms, but don't mess up the cannabis bill. Yeah, I need the kid who did the "I Wonder What's Inside Your Butthole" song. I need that. I do need that. I want that person on the show. Magical butter makes your recipe so much better. MagicalButter.com. Magical butter makes your recipe so much better. MagicalButter.com. I wonder what's inside. Oh, not yet. Wait, hold on. Here it comes. Here it comes. I wonder what's inside your butter machine. I wonder what's inside your butter machine. That's pretty good, right? No? Whatever. Fine. Whatever. I liked it. It was good it was better before when I was really high. Okay, ask for the desk sergeant. All right. Patrick Duff is calling in, but he's going to be doing a number 2 right now. Patrick Duff, please call me while you're taking a dump. That would be the best phone call ever. Patrick Duff, please call in right now. If you're doing a number 2, please call. Make me your number 1 priority. Patrick Duff, please. I know you're listening to me right now while you're dumping. Please call. Oh, I have to set the phone up. Let me do that. That would be helpful because I don't have the phone set up. Jesus. So embarrassing. I got to take this stupid here. I'll give you a producing lesson. I got to take this stupid Bluetooth thing here. Where is my camera? Here. This stupid thing that half the time doesn't work. I got to get it unplugged. Then I got to go to my phone. Then I got to go into the Bluetooth setting and do connect. And half the time it doesn't work. But it's working now. Now I got to plug it back in. Hey, producing with Lefty. This is fun. This is great radio. Hope you all appreciate this. I'm teaching you as we're going. Where's my power? Oh, this is terrible. All right. Be nice if we had a co-host. All right. Okay, Pat Duff, I think I'm ready for you. I'm ready with paper and with a phone call for you. So whenever you're ready, Pat. Please wash your hands. Pat Duff, did you wash your hands before you went to the bathroom? Because now, this is what I've been saying for years, before COVID, wash your hands before you touch your junk. But nobody believed me. But here, I proved it because I went outside and I rubbed my hands in the dirt. And I said, okay, now go take a pee. Are you going to rub your hands with dirt and then go touch your junk and pee? No, you're going to wash your hands before you take a pee or a number 2. So, did you wash your hands before, Patrick? No, you didn't. I know you didn't. Are you going to wash your hands after? Let's find out together. Pat, call me up. Let me know how much you washed your hands, before or after. I wash before. I only wash after if I make a mess. Why would you wash your hands after you peed or pooped? Why would you do that after? Unless you're a slob and you made a mess? Okay, yeah. Then see, Duff Stumper. People want it. See, Patrick, people want it. You already have a title. Duff's Dumps Live. He's a private pooper, he says. Patrick Duff is a private pooper. But we won't know. Well, you just turn your video off. We'll just want to listen to it. We want to hear the waterfall. Come on, Pat. Save one for us. Save one little one for us. One little nugget. Save a little nugget for us. Come on, Pat. I'll save a nugget for you. Nugget for a nugget. Here's a nugget. It doesn't have to be that big. Just save us a nugget. And I will do a nugget for a nug. We'll go nug for nug. Brown nug for green nug. It's like regs versus mids. I don't know what this is. I didn't know we were doing shock jock stuff today, Patrick, but you start talking about you're in the bathroom taking a dump. Yeah, well, you're going to put me on that. There we go. I hope this friggin' works. Hold on. Can you hear me? Pat Duff? Shit. Hold on.
Shit.
Yes, Pat Duff. I can hear you.
Yo.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Awesome.
I got like a bounce back. I'm gonna call you right back.
Oh shit.
It'll make me crazy.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. Hold on. I'm trying to fix the phones. Jesus. I'm working on it. All right. Are you there? Oh, hold on. Hold on. All right. You there, Pat? shoot. Hold on. See you
Can you
soon.
hear me now?
I hear you now. Hey, buddy.
Hold on 1 second here.
Are you flushing?
All right. I'm just exiting the bathroom.
We missed all the good stuff.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I really can't hear you well. Your system's not working well today.
All right, hold on.
Call me back.
Hold on. I'm going to fix it right now. Hold on. Pat, you there? Hold on. I'm fixing you right now. I'll do it the old-fashioned way. The way my forefathers used to do it.
I used to wipe with leaves. I wiped with poison ivy once when I was like 10. It was the worst mistake of my life.
That's awful. You really did that?
I really did that.
Oh.
It was an emergency dump. I was in the creek collecting, like, we used to hunt for frogs and turtles and stuff, and I grabbed the closest leaf beside me, and it was poison ivy.
You could die from that.
I blame that on failing out of school.
You know, you could
Ever
die.
since then, I could never sit still in class.
You could die from that, Pat.
Yeah, I know. Poison ivy up the bunghole. Yeah, not a good thing.
Not a
So
good.
what's going on, man? How you doing?
Good, brother. Good, dude. You killed it in that meeting the other night. Man, both meetings. It was just amazing.
Well,
Let's talk about Barrington first. We have a patient in Barrington, a person of color who's a patient being victimized by the government. That's disgusting.
well, it's very normal there is the issue.
Yeah.
So it's the problem is they have a force that, police force that's, I think there's 15 white people and 1 Hispanic officer. They have 0 black officers at all. But which is interesting because right next to them, Lawnside, New Jersey, has 7 black officers and 2 Hispanic officers, and they have a 90% black population. And in between 2012 and 2016, Barrington, which is the next town over, they actually share a big shopping center that they both patrol together, used force 87 times, and Lawnside used force 0. So, and it was funny, and not funny, I guess, but when I mentioned that, then we had a woman break in and wanted to let everybody know that use of force sometimes just grabbing somebody by the arm. Well, if that woman's husband just grabbed her by the arm, I think she might have a problem with that, and that's not an armed stranger who has the right to shoot you in the middle of the street. You know? What a boob that lady was.
This is scary that this is happening all over New Jersey to patients and patients
Yeah.
that we don't know, patients that are anonymous, but they picked the wrong patient this time. This guy has an army behind him.
Yeah, that was it. It was interesting to. I tell you, at least the Barrington Council was much more receptive to multiple people talking about a similar issue than was the what do you call that, Summit Council. They were there were some real stuck up pigs.
Oh man, the mayor.
Yeah, saying you don't know our town. Like, well, it's not your town, lady. It's a town inside of New Jersey that we all have to traverse through. And if we have to traverse through your town, guess what? It's a part of our life too.
And and 2/3 of your voters voting for this. So, and she's like, I don't know what they voted on. She doesn't know what they voted on. Yeah. What?
How many emails came in that were for it, and how many were against it again? Do you remember?
It was, I think, all for it, right? Or one against it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, so she had literally. There was a couple callers from the community too, from Summit, and there was only one against it, and that was the one that works with Kevin Cadet.
Oh, that guy.
On the anti-drug programs, She even said what she was with some anti-drug, initiatives like DARE, and she supports DARE. And
oh, her, yeah.
Yeah. She supports making children into narcs on their parents. You know, that's what she supports. That's what she wants. She probably really had a bad, you know, she didn't have a lot of friends when she was younger, and she's angry about that. But yeah, man, yeah, you know what? What's been happening is I'm at my store now, you know, and it's not very busy because this whole stupid shutdown stuff is happening here. But so I had a little extra time in my hands, so I'm making sure I put it towards getting some activism done so I can see results, you know. So, you know, I got yesterday. I wrote a op-ed to the opinion piece by Scutari. His opinion piece was basically saying that the legalization bill has always been about social justice, and but where's the social justice aspect in the bill? You know, they have like an expungement thing that's not really an expungement either, by the way. It just doesn't allow New Jersey, you know, employers or people to hold it against the person if it's on their record. It doesn't expunge it from the record. So, not to mention, you know, people have beefed with me because I mentioned the lady who's on the commission now, Diana Honoleo, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
You know, she was a lobbyist for the ACLU who directly lobbied Nicholas Scutari to have the commission formed and this bill enacted. And she directly lobbied for the bill, right? Well, people were saying, well, she's a good lady, you know, she's a good person to have on the commission. Well, if she lobbied for 3 years for a bill and her job was to bring up social justice issues and the bill doesn't include any, don't you think it's a little bit of a, you know, it seems like a little bit of a payoff to give her the you know, the chair of the commission? I mean, she was the direct lobbyist for the bill, supposedly lobbying on behalf of the ACLU. The bill itself includes no actual social justice. And the social justice that was thrown in at the end says it may. They use the word may. These taxes may go towards this, not will, you know. And what a bunch of crap, Sweeney coming out saying, you know, this is, you know, we're helping black and brown communities when Camden has been in his jurisdiction for this, you know, for the last several decades, and he's done nothing to help Camden. And I think what's going to happen, you want to hear the truth, Lefty, about the social justice money going towards social, what do you call it, programs that will help inner cities that have been affected by this, is what they're going to do is use the money to help gentrify the communities. Essentially removing black people.
Yeah, let's get rid of everybody.
Money that,
yeah,
exactly.
Clear them all out now.
Exactly.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
good thinking there.
Yeah, the community now has the property values are more, and if 4 black people are left, they could take advantage. But the thousands that had to leave because of it, I mean, Philadelphia is doing it every day. You probably have a property tax abatement of 10 years of no taxes if you buy a new property in Philadelphia. You know, so people are buying $700,000 homes who can afford to pay taxes, aren't paying anything for 10 years.
Jeez. And then they can reapply. Then you can reapply for that after 10 years, right?
I'm not sure if you can reapply for it. I just know that they've extended it for the last. I mean, it started back, 16 years ago at the thing called NTI, the Neighborhood Transformation Initiative. And then once they figured out that was a raunchy scam, people kind of shied away from it. Then they called it something different, and they just keep changing the name, but the program stays the same. Builders are making out. People who are not paying taxes are making out. Schools are getting fucked. Roads and stuff like that. I mean, taxes pay for roads, and you put in all these new houses. They have to put new sewage lines in, all these different things. That's, it doesn't benefit the city if they don't put in their fair share. But
well, you know what's crazy? I'm fighting for a traffic light here in Bayonne on the corner.
Yeah,
and
I saw, you crazy fuck.
Do you know how much a traffic light costs?
I'm going to guess about $65,000.
Huh. Keep going higher.
110.
Keep going higher.
Really, 250.
Higher.
$500,000.
Between $500,000 and $800,000 traffic light.
That don't make no damn sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Who's getting that contract?
Let's just get that old school lights, man. Little ding. Yeah, well, that section there, I've watched you do that, you know, going across the street with the baby stroller. It's just, what's interesting is that you're going across the street with a baby stroller.
double stroller.
The double stroller.
Two babies in that stroller.
You should get two little baby dolls that you can make look just like you and put like long hair and beards on them and have them in the stroller.
I have a CPR dummy in one of them. I need something else.
Baby lefties.
Baby lefty. I got two dead cats. Cats.
What's that?
I have two stuffed cats. I can put some.
There you go. You got to put something in there though, make it more.
Yeah.
And then dump over the stroller. You know, dump it over in the middle and oh!
People have been hating on me, saying that I'm blocking traffic. I should wait for them to fix the problem. I'm like, what?
Well, I'm surprised the cop doesn't come lock you up.
Well, they're saying it's almost illegal because, you know, I can't be crossing the street all day. I'm like, well, how many times am I allowed to cross the street? And they can't answer me that.
Did they say it was illegal?
No, that they said we're going to have a problem if you keep doing this. So what kind of a problem am I going to have by crossing the street? It's a Fifth Amendment right. I have a Fifth Amendment right, freedom of travel. The cars don't have that. Cars have a privilege to drive. I have a right to walk unencumbered by the government or cars.
I don't think we are. I think our rights at this point have been so diminished by this whole COVID crap that you know, who knows what our rights are anymore.
Yeah, it's scary.
That's the sad part. Yeah, it
just
is.
like that, we lost him, Pat. It was just boom, like that, and it wasn't even like the Republicans taking our rights away, like you would think. It was the Democrats took our rights away.
No, it's a joint effort.
It is a joint effort, but it's more left leaning. I think these policies.
Well, you know what's interesting is you know, remember like during that Barrington meeting, as soon as I got on the meeting, I noticed one of the guys was somebody I know, who I worked with.
Nice.
And listen, I'm tooting my horn, but I'm surely 10 times brighter than he is. And he's, you know, running several departments in the city. You know, and I'm not, you know, he's a nice guy and everything, but you know, I wouldn't want him making these decisions for me. But then I also didn't put myself in a position to get in that office or any office, you know. So how many of these people that are in office are just boobs? You know, so, I mean, that's what I see right now, that we have a bunch of boobs in office that are being manipulated, you know, with facts and numbers and, you know, what do you call it, fact-checking and straight gangster tactics, just, you know, of censorship. And it's just scary. I think it's a really scary time that we live in. Right now they're talking about how they're, you know, getting the vaccine ready, and the military is going to distribute it. Like, why the fuck is the military distributing the vaccine? Well, and they have little cards you're going to have to carry, little vaccination cards you have to keep in your wallet. Did you see that?
Come on, really?
Yeah, no, really. There's a kit that comes with a couple needles, you know, to jam you with, and a COVID card that a person will have to carry that corresponds with the medical records of the system. And if you don't have your little COVID card, there could be some penalties.
Penalties?
Oh, I assure you. Look up. I see. We have one of the lawyers that kind of go back and forth with us, named Michael Hoffman. I think he's on. Watch him. But look up the Interstate Quarantine Laws. I think it's called Interstate Quarantine Act. And what it does is it makes it illegal to cross state lines if you might be sick. And if you get somebody sick because you cross state lines, you could risk big jail time and I think $100,000 fine. Called the Interstate Quarantine Act. So it's already there. The law is already on the books. It's been on the books since 2005, I believe. So.
Yeah, I see it here.
Yeah, it's real. I'm not crapping you. But I'll give you an example of what I think we could do. And that's why I'm jumping into this thing with those feet, because a lot of the people that are involved, they're not used to dealing with politicians, and I am. And I know that they're just normal human beings who you can influence, the masses just like they can. They just have a bigger pulpit. So you have to jump up on the pulpit, just like you guys are doing, jumping these council meetings and stuff like that, which, it seems like for some of the politicians, they respected it, and then others who, interestingly, the median income in Summit is like $150K a year. That's the median income. So those cats have ducats. And Barrington, I think it's like 70 or something, so it's almost like half.
Pat, I'm looking at the penalties. It says persons in violation of this part are subject to a fine of no more than $100,000 if the violation does not result in a death, or 1 year in jail, or both, or a fine of no more than $250,000 if the violation results in a death. Wow.
So they could literally blame somebody that somebody else got a virus because of them, which there's no way to actually prove it.
Yeah, how do you... Wow.
Now you prove it. You prove it with fear. With fear. That's the same thing they did with reefer madness, man. You don't realize that, but people, they created this fear that was so, it's palatable, you can like taste it, oh my God, like we can't have this, So anybody that's associated with must be evil. Anybody that would go out of their house without a mask. Oh my God. But the love of Christ. Never did I think we would have, things like forced mask wearing and things like that. But then when I look back at the 1918 influenza pandemic, they had forced mask wearing then too. And it's interesting that it's like every 100 years it seems that they're doing these kind of governmental resets. They like right before, right before 1918 was when the IRS was formed, when the Federal Reserve was formed. And then for the last 100 years, we've basically been running on this system of a capitalistic state / republic. And I think what I think is, have you ever heard of the Great Reset?
Tell me about this Great Reset.
The Great Reset is a World Economic Forum. I think the guy's name is like Klaus Schauer or something like that, who's the founder of it. But it basically is bringing all the world leaders together. They were supposed to have a meeting in January. They canceled that. They're going to do a Zoom meeting though, but basically it's like Prince Charles has said himself, it's a chance to reset broken government systems such as capitalism, and that capitalism has been proven to be a failure, which I don't disagree with, and that the ozone is depleting and the earth is warming, and something needs to be done immediately, because the constant manufacturing of crap for people to buy is literally, creating creating massive trash piles that are inside of the oceans. You have a plastic trash heap that floats around the ocean that's bigger than Texas.
It's disgusting.
So I mean, listen, I'm one of those people who are like the complete independent intellectuals who I can't, listen, it's when you're saying all the people that were doing the reopen protest are COVID idiots, that the people doing the Black Lives Matter protests were somehow being safe and also, because the cause was different, it was worth going out and protesting during a pandemic. I can't agree with you. I can't. I'm like Spock. I'm like the stone Spock. So if it's not logical, I'm not into it. And that's why I can't support one party over the other, because I know, and I've worked with them both, that they're both dirty. They're both full of crap. They both are about their self-interest. And I was on a call with King Haile Selassie's grandson, and listened to him speak about how, in a capitalist or in a democracy, you have these lawmakers who come in and they're there for 2 years or 4 years and they're gone. And he said, so what they do is during those 2 or 4 years, they try to collect as much shit for themselves as they can through whatever policies they make, and that they're renters. They're like renters that just come in and leave, Whereas, like, if you have a monarchy where the king is there and the queen, and they have to be, responsible for what's happening, they can't just leave at the end of 2 years. And that in a democracy like ours, democratic state like ours, 70 to 80% of all GDP goes towards government operations. In a monarchy, 5 to 13% or something like that goes towards the same thing. So, we have been getting, bent over and purged for decades. So this is just the climax.
There's some comments here. Let me go back. The quarantining, it says, Michael says, whether it's used appropriately, the most common recognized quarantine intake zone in our history was Ellis Island. Interesting. And then... that
they had hospitals on Ellis Island that they would jam people in if they seemed like they were slightly ill, and they would die on the island. They wouldn't let them off. They wouldn't put them back on boats.
Really? They would just die there on the island? That was it?
Yep. Many, many people died on that island. But listen, we're not in that type of time. We don't have people coming jumping off boats with scurvy. We don't have... listen, I have a business in Kensington. There's a huge homeless population. And other than them intentionally shooting heroin in their arms and dipping out on the floors, I don't see a bunch of people lying on the floor dead from this COVID thing. Now, is it there? Is it out there? Sure. Whatever's happening, there's something happening. But the reaction to what's happening is much more severe. Did you know 3,000 children, babies, die every single day of malaria? Every day. But do you know that they're mostly black? 99.99%. They're all in sub-Saharan Africa. There's some stuff. 480,000 Americans die every year from cigarettes. Really, you want to know something, Lefty? I'm about to go on a crazy campaign. I'm about to walk in to the cigarette stores, and request buying cigarettes, and then going and getting them tested like they test cannabis, but saying I'm testing cannabis that came from a dispensary, and giving tobacco from a cigarette, and having them find all the carcinogens in there, Oh, my God. They'd want to shut the dispensary down, right? Isn't that what all this testing is for? So we're safe? But they sell cigarettes? Hell out of here. I'm going to take a bong hit.
Pat, what bothers me is that they're arresting patients. They're still arresting people. A person just got arrested in Florence. I'm hoping he calls in. It's a person of color. He got busted for 2 grams in his book bag. 2 grams of pot. Pot just became legal, and they're still busting people of color for pot. They're getting it all in while they can. Get as many arrests in as you can, right? Now this guy, he doesn't know whether he should get a lawyer. Like the patient that just got arrested, he had to get a lawyer. He had to get a $5,000 lawyer and a retainer. These are people on disability. These are sick people. These are people in wheelchairs. They don't have $5,000.
Yeah, if you get arrested for cannabis and you're a medical patient, don't obtain an expensive lawyer. Don't bother doing that. Okay? Because whatever your first initial hearing is, you're going to find out a lot more, and you'll be able to present your medical card, and that should get the case thrown out. If not, then get a lawyer. But hiring him off the bat, without your first hearing, which the first hearing is it's not your trial. You're not going to jail yet. So, well, I think the pressure that we applied at the meeting, and with a good little bit of follow-up, I think they dropped the charges. And give them the stuff back. So
we're going to go back to Barrington next week.
Yeah, because we want to know. We want to know what the outcome was of their research. I gave the councilman his name and ticket number and stuff like that, and also gave a reporter, a guy from the Retrospective. I don't know if he's done it or is doing it, but the Retrospective is like a local paper that goes around. Barrington, Haddonfield, Haddon Heights, Audubon, Collingswood, and it's a real paper. Like they actually have like an office in Collingswood where they print their little paper and they put it out, and they don't put everything out online. They mostly put their stories in the paper, but everybody in the area reads it. So that story before next week's council meeting will be in the Retrospect, which will be good because it'll add a little bit of pressure for that guy to get that charge dropped.
Yeah, it's sad that this is happening all over New Jersey. It's been happening ever since we got the cards. A lot of patients, man. A lot of patients getting arrested, and they're getting stressed out. They don't need stress. I know people with cancer that if you give someone with cancer stress, it's a killer. It actually kills them.
Man. Yeah, well, here's an example, too. Like over here in Pennsylvania, I do the medical certification for people. And from the time, they get it to the time they get the card, it could be up to 21 days. And they can't go get medication even though they've been certified without the actual card. There's no, temporary card. 21 days can kill somebody who's in severe, what do you call that, wasting syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
They need medicine immediately. To make them wait that extra time, it creates obvious danger, an urgency situation. That's why I said to the council, you don't have an urgency situation in Summit because there's no laws even saying how somebody gets set up. The regulations aren't even passed. You have no idea what they say. But what they're protecting was so interesting, and they even said it. They're protecting their property values, and they think that that's going to be the way to do it by don't have it here. Next town over is fine, not here. But they have really good restaurants in town that serve really wonderful cocktails.
Oh, Summit has great restaurants.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I looked around the map. I'm like, this place looks nice. I mean, that adds to the property value, having those nice restaurants. Same thing with a nice dispensary. Literally. Even more so. In Oakland, California, listen, I got to travel through California in the early 2004. Actually traveled through California with Jack Hare and went to a bunch of different dispensaries. And the place in Oakland where they opened, there was one called the Vapor Lounge. And on that street, they allowed 4 or 5 others to open. And when I went there, it was rough, man. It was, inner city feel in the sense of a lot of homeless. In San Francisco and Oakland, the panhandling was pretty severe. And listen, I don't even disagree. If I was homeless, I'd want to be out there too, not in cold weather. But the area was also, a lot of boarded up stores, and I went back there 4 years after that, like 2008, and the area was bumping. And the only thing that changed it was those 4 or 5 dispensaries that had opened in that area, who put security out on the street, who had cameras, who had people come in to buy product, who then it made sense for somebody to unboard the store next to them and put a store in, So they just don't know it. They just don't understand basic economics. It's a supply and demand. People in their town are going to demand the product. And if somebody else supplies it, they'll go get it there. That's all there is to it. And they miss having jobs for their people, miss having a real good business for somebody there, especially the way New Jersey's plan is set up, the way it's set up for micro-licensing, that you can only open in the town you live in or the next town over. So they put a limitation on micro-licensing, basically saying you have to have a residency requirement in the town that you're opening it or an adjacent town, which I think is bull crap. But that being said, if somebody in Summit were to put an application in, they'd be approved over the guy, that was the next town over, because they're actually the resident of the town.
Here, Pat, let's listen to the mayor of Summit for a minute here.
So any
This is
other
great.
comments from members of the public?
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, hearing none, I'm going to, let's see. I guess there is no one else commenting.
Yep.
So I'm going to
The mayor.
move back, and if there are any members of council who want to add anything. Mayor, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Council President. I've been listening for a while, and I appreciate everyone who came and spoke with us.
No, you don't.
I do, however, want to say that the folks who do not live in Summit, you don't know Summit.
I know Summit very well. I'm in Summit all the time, so shut up right there. Just shut your face.
And I take offense personally as the mayor and the representative of the people of Summit.
I'm offended too. You're not listening to the will of the people.
That you assume that we do not work hard to be transparent and to spend a lot of time, not just the Summit Common Council, but every organization in this town spends an enormous amount of time getting community input, finding out what's best for our town. So while you may have statistics about the city of Summit, you do not know this community.
Screw your facts and logic. We don't want to hear your facts or your logic.
This is, as Council Member Little said, this is a not yet vote. We need to make sure that we understand what the people of Summit really want, not just what they voted.
Wait, they just voted what they want. Didn't you just see the vote? They just voted. What do you think they want? What is this? This lady's nuts.
Or at the ballot. Did they vote for decriminalization?
What did the 28 emails want?
Yeah, 28 emails. What about? No, don't look at those either. Don't look at those facts.
Don't listen to the 3 people from your town that called and specifically were pro dispensary being open.
Oh my God! Wait, there's more. Wait, there's more ignorance. Wait.
Or did they vote for the sale of marijuana in our town? I don't.
Wait. She says she doesn't know what they voted for. She literally says she doesn't know what they voted for.
The ballot measure did nothing to address that issue. So
I missed it.
Okay, thank you for your comment.
Sure, thank you for the information. I appreciate it.
Okay, so any other
community input, finding out what's best for.
Do you approve amending the Constitution to legalize a controlled form of marijuana called cannabis? That was the only question.
Yeah.
That's it.
She doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
What?
I don't know.
For our town. So while you may have statistics about the city of Summit, you do not know this community.
You may have facts, but we don't go by that.
This is, as Council Member Little.
I said 1,000 black person based on population has a 1,347 times higher or more likely to have use of force used on them than a white person.
Wait. How many percent?
1,347% times higher.
1,000.
So do me a favor, anybody out there that you can look up your own towns and look up, the how many use of force. Barrington has one dude that in 4 years used force 12 times. So you can look up, type in New Jersey use of force report. And you can type in any town and it'll give you the statistics on how many black people compared to white people and Hispanic or people of two races, things like that.
Not 100 times more, 1,000 times more, over 1,000 times more.
Barrington was like 1,150 percent or times higher. Let me read what it actually says so you can. I'm not talking circles here.
And that's just the mayor chasing you down and beating you up.
Well, it's just grabbing your arm, as you said. I wonder if you can find that about the Barrington meeting. Did you tape the Barrington meeting?
No, we're working on that.
Yeah, I couldn't find it.
Yeah, we had to Oprah request that, I guess, too.
Hey, hold one. I'll be right back with you.
Big secret.
I got to talk on the phone.
Here, let's listen to the mayor some more. This is so ignorant.
This is a not yet vote. We need to make sure that we understand what the people of Summit really want, not just what they voted for at the ballot. Did they vote for decriminalization, or did they vote for the sale of marijuana in our town? I don't know, and we need to find out. And if we do not pass this ordinance tonight, once the bill is passed by our legislature, which who knows when that will happen? Who knows when they will what's going to be in that piece of legislation? Someone said the people have spoken, the state has spoken. Well, the state hasn't spoken.
Who cares what the state says? Wait a minute. She doesn't care what the people said. She doesn't care what the people said. Screw the people. I want to know what the government says.
The people have spoken. We need to find out what the state is thinking.
The state doesn't have a brain. It's the people that are in the state that have a brain. The state is a bunch of borders and lines and boundaries. This lady is an ignorant person. I can't believe she's even elected into an official capacity here.
There will be time, and we will make the absolute strong effort to find out what this community wants.
What? We'll take another vote. And another until we get it right. We're going to keep voting till you vote what I want you to vote for. Oh my God! What the F, Pat?
Well, that's the easy way around it. You know, your shirt says ignorance is no excuse.
Oh
right?
My God!
So she's a lawmaker. So lawmakers are allowed to be ignorant of the law and still basically break it. And not do the will of the voters, but voters are held responsible to know every fucking law that's on the books.
Wow.
That's what's so beautiful about the way you guys go around and teach these places the law. You know, that one guy saying how he's going to get a bus and come down to Barrington and smoke pot and I love that. That was a good one.
Yeah, I like him. I wish he'd give me a call and we can set this up.
But check it out. Tracy McHugh on the comments said that the person that was arrested was pulled over in that shopping center. It's like a joint shopping center between Lawnside and Barrington. And it's so true. And what happens is you have to come to get off 95, 295. You have to come through Barrington no matter what you do. And if you come off of exit 28 or 29, coming south, right? Or coming north, the same exit. There's no way to travel off the highway unless you go through Barrington. And literally you're in Barrington for like a quarter mile and you're out of it. Just a little strip right there. But they patrol that strip like they're at the border of West and East Germany and in the midst of the Cold War there. It's crazy. So what they do is literally when people are coming off the highway and you can see the cars like sitting there, if anybody's black or brown skinned, they pull them over. So, I mean, you want to do an Oprah request, for traffic stops in Barrington, and the racial breakdown of the traffic stops. And I guarantee you're going to see that they pull over tons more black people. And that's how 1,147% of, their uses of force or whatever, or the times that they use force are more used on black people. They only have 1% of black people in the town. So it's that's so. I bet he was either coming off 295 Hey, Tracy, do you know if he had use of force used on him? Was he grabbed up? Do you know if he was grabbed up, Lefty?
No. The patient, yeah, he says he was grabbed, I think. I believe he says he was grabbed, yeah.
Yeah, so that would be sticking to their, the commonality of just, it seems that it's easier for them to grip somebody up of color, and pull over people at a higher rate, which is going to lead into having the chance of having, hands laid on. And that woman saying that, it's just, grabbing him by the arm. Like, has she ever been grabbed by the arm by a cop and thrown against the car? I have. It's not fun. It's really dehumanizing. I, Lefty, had 2 cops arrest me, throw me against the wall, and try to rip off my genitals.
Rip off your what?
Rip off my testicles. Pulled my testicles like you wouldn't believe, in my penis, and pulled it. And I was screaming, "Please stop!" Didn't fight back. I went limp. These cops wanted me to fight back so they could shoot me. I owned dispensaries in Los Angeles. The LAPD decided they didn't like me, and that was not a good thing to have. LAPD were and are some dirty-ass pigs. Straight up.
Wow.
I was facing 5 years in jail. I took it to trial. I took a battery on a police officer charge to trial, and they threw all kinds of other bullcrap charges at me, criminal threats, all kinds of stuff. I took it to trial. I faced 5 years of prison. They offered me a 1-year probation if I pleaded guilty to one of the crimes, which is a crime of moral turpitude. So I would, be prohibited from getting an office later in life or, certain jobs. And I'm like, no. And the judge said to me, Lefty, what you're being offered, it's a very good offer, I said, Your Honor, I said, you just had it. So I had to raise my hand and, and swear that anything I say in this courtroom will be the truth. And if I don't say it, I could be held liable for perjury. Isn't that correct? That's correct, Mr. Duff. I said, then if I plead guilty to anything they said I did, the only thing that I would be guilty of is perjury. So are you going to convict me of perjury for the crime that they say I did? Because if I say I did it, I'd only be lying to you. And you should have seen her face. Never heard that one before.
Oh?
Oh?
Oh, my God.
And
wow.
I went to trial, and I beat it. And it was one of the, listen, when a jury walks out, and you don't know what they're about to say, I'm telling you, that's where, like a lot of people, like, they got beef with the way I do things or whatever. I'm a little rough around the edges sometimes, but they can kiss my fucking ass.
I don't like the way you're doing it, man. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
I could do it better.
Exactly. Yeah, like, I've been fighting to save the house that Martin Luther King lived in, and, like, the state of New Jersey's been fighting me, like...
Yeah, and you took heat for that. Who would give you heat for fighting for Martin Luther King? Well, people.
Yeah, exactly.
White people.
I'm sick of it, But, I would like to say, though, I'm proud that you're helping fight for that, fellow in Barrington and all the other things you do, man. And that, you make a difference, which is important.
You too, brother.
I just had a customer walk into the store. I will talk to you at another time, and I really appreciate the show.
Pat, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate
you,
your input. Thanks, brother. I'm not hanging up on Pat today. Sorry, it ain't happening. That's good stuff right there. Wow. All right, and this segment is brought to you by the UFCW Local 152. You can call Hugh Giordano if you need some help getting your place unionized. They will come and unionize your pot shop. You got a pot shop? Let's unionize it. You get better wages, benefits, insurance, job security. UFCW Local 152. There's a council meeting in Union County tonight. Union County freeholders. I will put a event page up for that. Please join us with that one. That's going to be a good one. We're driving past the reservation in Watchung. Apparently, they have a virtual trail for people that are disabled. If you're in a wheelchair, you can access this virtual trail online. So I'm like, oh, this is a great thing. We can have, all our friends who can't come on the trails with us, they can meet us virtually, and we can do this. So I go on the website. Wah, wah, wah. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Just like the wheelchair access at the post office, just like the wheelchair access at the Brielle police station, just like the wheelchair access in Jersey City libraries, just like the wheelchair access all over the UEZ and Bayonne. Ain't happening. Ain't working. Those people who are sick, suffering, and disabled, yeah, we just put another barrier in front of you. You can't go on that trail. Sorry, we just teased you. There's no trail. The taxpayers are paying for that trail, but you ain't going. Sorry, buddy. You ain't going. So we're going to go to the Union County Freeholders meeting tonight at 5 o'clock and raise some hell about how much is it going to cost to fix the virtual trail for people in wheelchairs. Is that something that's going to take 3 months like the post office? Actually, we have good news. Drum roll, please. The Bayonne post office has finally fixed their ramp after almost 4 months of begging, pleading, and calling everybody and we possibly could. They fixed it. Yay! Bayonne post office. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll put the video out. There's a video. They didn't clean it. They fixed it, but there's still garbage underneath. Like there's this junk and crap underneath the elevator. You would think they would clean it and do something. No, they ain't cleaning shit. It's terrible. Anyway, that's it for today, folks. Thanks for listening. I'll see you at the Union County Freeholders meeting tonight at 5. And I think that's all we got. We're going back to Barrington. We're going back to Summit. We're going to keep going to these council meetings, and it's one-click activism, so come on, man. We can't make it any easier for you. So I want to thank cmmnj.org. They're awesome. They've been helping us for forever. sativacross.org. If you go to sativacross.org, you can actually donate to our 501c3. We're now a nonprofit 501c3 in the state of New Jersey. Magical Butter, one of our original sponsors. Here, let's... Magical butter, magical butter, magical butter. I wonder what's inside your butter machine. I wonder what's inside your butt. I wonder what's inside your butter machine. I wonder what's inside your butter machine. Magical Butter makes your recipes better. Get your Magical Butter machine from magicalbutter.com. Hello, talk about the spark. The spark? Sean, call in and tell me about your spark. There is a spark, and we spoke about that spark. And it's about doing the right thing. It's about helping God, because you know what? God could be that person in that wheelchair. God could be that person that's suffering and dying. And what are you doing? You're just disrespecting God. You never know who God could be. He's watching you, though. Could be anywhere. Okay, and we have... Oh, my God. UFCW Local 152. DavidVersusAutism.org, LetPatientsGrowNewJersey.com, JacksonStorms.com, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, Pure Puff Lifestyle Shop, DragonFlyHealthCenter.com, and there it is. Hello there.
Greetings and salutations, Lefty. How are you, brother?
Good, man. Oh, hold on. This is not Pat Duff. I'm going to have to take that picture down. Hold on.
Yeah.
take that picture right down. I don't have a picture of you, Sean.
Yeah, you gotta get one. That's hard to get.
I mean,
It's like in the audience for the Pope.
I mean, we could do it like this. I could see you, kind of. Let's see, where are you? There you are. There you are.
Yeah, I got something for you, man. You know, I'm always dropping gems on you. You like classic rock, right?
Yes, of course.
Steppenwolf, Magic Butter Ride. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now.
Really?
Come on, Magic Butter Ride. Why don't you take a little ride with me on the Magic Butter Ride? Come on.
All right, host the show. Hold on. I'm going to go find it.
Come on, man. You can do it.
Okay, you host the show while I find it.
What do you want me to say there? Yeah, Patrick was on some real shit, man.
Yeah, he's awesome. Isn't he great?
Yeah, definitely. I like educated stoners, man. It's a rarity.
Can you hear this?
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know the words. I don't know how to do this. I like to make butter. Dun, dun. Right in my butter machine. Yeah, I can do this. On a cloud of sound in the night, and it plays, it just goes right. I need words. You don't know what's in my butter machine. You don't know what's in my butter machine. Close your eyes, girl. Look inside my machine. I gotta work on this, bro. You can't just throw this at me like this. This is great, though. I love this idea. Last night I grew some really good weed. Sure, I could put some in. Dude, help me with this.
Listen, you know I'm not one.
Oh my God. All right, I will have this done by next week. I'll write this by next week.
I give you the gems. I told you. I spark shit up, and you the kindling, and then y'all got to put them oak logs on it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Oak. He's still with us. You know what I'm saying?
Channel your inner oak.
There it is, man. Your spark. Then you got your kindling.
Your kindling and your spark.
The long hauls. You know, the maples, the oaks. You know.
I tell you, man, how amazing was Jeff Oaks? He made a decision 4 years ago to fight cancer, and he beat cancer. He actually beat cancer because he did not let cancer beat him. He did more than most people did that are healthy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, having a couple one-on-one conversations with him like I had with you definitely enlightened me and made me think a little bit more. And the best part about it is that not judgmental, you know what I mean? Hardcore, don't get it twisted. He'll thump you on your head if you were a Trumpster or anything else. He had no problem who you were. He was going to say, and when, like he said, when he finally came to a realization of, you know, his calling, it didn't matter then, you know, it was on. So to me, when I hear things and see things like that, I just tell everybody, yo, there's a spark, and you just got to find your kindling. And then you got to find your people that they're going to nurture that fire and tend it. And once you got that, it's off to the races, man.
Jeff Oaks lit a spark in a lot of people.
Yeah, he woke me up that day and a lot of other people I know. But you know the best thing about that conversation, to me?
What's that?
About the conversation that we had, you know, personally, was that you still don't know. Do you know where I'm going? I got a question. Was it a Fender?
I have no idea what guitar that was. I have not done the research. But Sean wants to know what kind of guitar I smashed over my head on the Ricky Lake show. Dude, we bought that guitar at
I got a question.
Englishtown, bro. Englishtown.
Englishtown.
Could be a Honer. No, you're supposed to ask me a question and hang up on me, Sean. You're doing it wrong. You did it all wrong. In my machine. Why don't you put some weed in your machine? I don't know. All right, we'll work on that. I like that idea. You don't know what's in your butter machine. No, I'm combining 3 songs now. It's not going to work. I'm trying to be stupid now. I wonder what's inside your butter machine. I wonder what's inside your butt. Remix. Sorry, I like to get silly before I do this list because this list sucks, to be honest with you. We do this show primarily for this list because these people that have inspired us, that have had cannabis in their lives, that have lost their battle with or without cannabis. Some died waiting for cannabis. Some died waiting for compassion from our government. And the list starts with Cheryl Miller because she inspired me to start this journey many years ago. Her and Jeff Oakes are very similar. They fought from their deathbeds. I never seen nothing like that in my life. But Cheryl and Jeff are just amazing. Activism. They did not let their diseases beat them. They took part. And they inspired other people like you. If you're listening to this, I'm sure Cheryl and Jeff inspired you. That's why we're here trying to make a difference. We're all trying to get together and fight this thing together. Because we can't do it alone. We're not going to do this alone. Sabina Rose was a 15-month-old baby who died of a 25-hour seizure. Waiting for her cannabis. Her cannabis card came like 2 weeks after she died. But they made her jump through hoops. Yeah, that's what they do in Jersey. They take the sick, dying, and disabled, and they make you jump through hoops. They don't make it easier for you. They make it actually harder for you. Which is actually very super sad. And that triggers me into action when I see people being pushed in the back of the line, being pushed further back. Yeah, no, that's not going to work with me. And so, yeah, I do have an anger issue when it comes to that, and I probably should keep myself in check more with my anger, but this shit triggers me, man. And I don't know how many people get shit done by being nice and sweet. You might get some stuff done, but I don't know. You do it your way, I'll do it mine. Gracie, Diane, Cindy Mae, these are kids. These are little children. Marie, she died from cancer. Jack, Joan, Randy Robertson, Polly, Bill, Chad, Jeremy, Joanne's husband, Colette, Matt, Troy, Russ, Roger, Jay, Ella, Hattie, Jackie, Anthony, Jake, Armando, Felicia, Lynn, Dan, Sean, Joyce, Lori, Frank, Brian, Flo, Carl, Thorne Peters. It's right here. I am the law. Frank, Lorraine, Terry, Charlotte, Cher, Jay, Michael, Marley, and Jeff Oakes. I'm smoking one for Jeff. You want to smoke one for Jeff? Light it up now. That's what I'm doing. I don't care if it's dead air. It's certainly rarefied air. Jeff was in rarefied air. You don't see that too often. I hope you all appreciated what you saw the last 4 years. With that guy who would come out with a chemo bag strapped to him. He'd come out after puking in the parking lot. He would come out and still be out there. He'd practically be in his chair sleeping in a meeting, and he'd still get up and take part because he was so sick. But he had compassion. Jeff's teaching was, it wasn't for home grow. Jeff's, yeah, he was all for it, but that wasn't what he was about. He was about compassion for your fellow human being. That was his message. And everything else will fall into place. If you have compassion for your fellow human being, all that other stuff will fall into place. Like if Scutari had compassion, he'd have a wheelchair ramp to his legislative office. That would have been the first thing he did when he first moved into that place. But he doesn't have compassion. He doesn't care. He's fighting against Homegrow because he's a shill for the corporate cannabis industry. He's a cannabagger. He took the money. He's not fighting for you as a patient. He's fighting for the cannabis industry. I guarantee once he leaves politics, he'll have a big cushy job in the cannabis industry. I hope it's sooner than later, Scutari. We don't need your kind. We don't need your help. Thanks for your help, but no. That's okay. We don't need it. You've been very unhelpful. Well, we're going to get the help from our Republican friends now. Yeah. Bucco and the dentist, our dentist friend. I mean, come on, man. They saw that the will of the people is 2/3 of the people want cannabis. And they want Homegrow. Except for Scutari. How does Scutari not want to help the patients? Well, he doesn't. He hasn't proven anything. He hasn't proven anything to me. I went there years ago to his office. He hasn't fixed his wheelchair access because he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the sick, the dying, and the disabled. He doesn't care. All right. Well, thanks for listening. See you, Michael. See you, Sean. Everybody have a good day. I'll see you at the council meeting tonight. I'll put an event page up. It's in Union County. Union County. It's one-click activism. We're fighting for a disabled trail now. A trail. Simple trail. Because they have a trail fail. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady in the glow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.